So today we are going to see the demo of Oracle database. Basically, do you know what is a database? So the database is nothing but, so if you take any company in the market, whether it's a financial sector or insurance or banking, whatever it may be. So the crucial thing is they have to store the customer's information. So in order to store the customer information in the market, we have so many databases. Simply database is nothing but it used to store the information. So to store the information, we have several databases in the market. So we have Microsoft, Oracle, Sybase, MySQL, DB2. So these are all the different databases in the market. So for Microsoft, they have developed their own database that is nothing but SQL Server. So Oracle has developed a database called Oracle database. The Sybase, MySQL, DB2 is a IBM product. DB2 is a IBM product. So different companies, they have developed their own databases. So now currently we are going to discuss about Oracle database. So as I told you, database is nothing but it is used to store the information. So in Oracle we have two parts. So one is a SQL part, the other one is a PL/SQL part. So SQL is nothing but it's a structured query language. So I'll tell you what is a structured query language. So the other one is a PL/SQL. So this PL stands for programming language. Programming language using SQL. So programming language using SQL. So SQL is nothing but it's a structured query language. Let's take an example of a bank. So bank is one of the business. Okay. So bank has different operations, right? So in a bank, if you take, so they'll have account section, and they'll have insurance section, and they'll have a loan section. So account, insurance, and loan section. So I'm just concentrating only on these three operations. So a bank has these three operations, which means so they'll provide services for these three operations. Now if my main goal is I have to store the information of these things. So if we take accounts, they may have different customers. So one may open a current account, savings account, or a demat, or different accounts. So insurance means, so they can take insurance from the bank also. So they may have a number of customers related to insurance. And if you take loans, a loan is nothing but bank will give loans to the different customers. So whether it may be a personal loan or a home loan or mortgage loan, or any other type of loan. So to store these information, so they require a database. Now I'm just assuming a bank is a database, and they have to store these three operations, right? So this is one operation, and this is the second operation, and this is the third operation. So I'm just naming as, this is a schema 1. Schema 1 is nothing but this schema 1 will store the information of account section, accounts information, all the accounts information. Now this loan will store all the loan related information. The schema 3 is going to store the information of loan section. Schema 2 will store the information of insurance information. Now, so schema in Oracle terminology, schema is also called user. So this user 1 will store the information of insurance information, and user 2 will store the information of loans. So in Oracle terminology, schema and user both are same. Now, here the important point is, in Oracle database, if you take any database, the data will store in terms of tables. In terms of table. So basically, what is a table? A table is nothing but it will have rows and columns. I'll just show you the simple thing in Excel sheet. So a table will have rows and columns. If we take any database, whether it may be a SQL Server, Oracle, or DB2, MySQL, Sybase, so in each and every database, the data will store in tables. A table will have rows and columns. I'll just show you one simple example. So here I have an option called table. So in table, so can you see here? Here how many columns that I have? This is one column, 2, 3, up to I have 7 columns. And how many rows I have? This complete thing is called a one row. This is second row, third, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So total I have 13 rows and 7 columns. I'll just show you one small example. Let's talk about the now. As you've seen what is a database, right? So a database and a schema. I'll just show you one simple example. Now here the tool which you're seeing here is a Oracle SQL Developer. This Oracle SQL Developer is used to, I'm just naming it as Oracle SQL Developer. So by using this tool, we will communicate with the Oracle database and we will retrieve the information. Let's say the bank information, let's say all the accounts information is maintained in one particular table. Now if you want to see that information, so by using this is a tool called Oracle SQL Developer. Using this tool I can see the information. Now here if you see in the properties, and I'll show you how to create a database and how to create a schema. Now here can you see here there is a thing called service name, that is nothing but a bank. Now here, so my database name is a bank, so here I have mentioned bank name, and just forget about these two things, port and host name, I'll tell you later. Now here the connection name is, now I'm going to store the accounts information in one schema. So my username is account and I have given a password. So within the bank I can have one schema, and so bank is my database, and so like that I have so many users. Okay, so in a bank, so bank is my business, so my business is operating 3 different operations. So according to that I have created 3 schemas. So here I have created some n number of schemas, so based on the requirement. I'll tell you how to download the Oracle software and how to install the database and how to download the SQL Developer and how to configure. I'll just show you these things in the next class. Just for time being, I'm just giving an overview of so what is a database and what is the exact requirement and all. Okay. Now I'll just show you what is meant by a table and how to create a table and how to store the information. I'll just show you one simple example. I'm going to show you the employee table information. So generally employee table means, so it stores the company, any company employees information. I'll just show you here. Now here, so this is nothing but the employee number and this is the employee name. This is nothing but the job, manager, and this is nothing but the hire date. This is nothing but the salary, and this is the commission, and this is the department number. Now if we can assume this is a table. Now just see this one, how many columns you have here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So total I have 8 columns. So I have 8 columns. And how many rows I have? So this complete thing is called a row. This is nothing but a row. Row means one single record. So in Oracle terminology, row is also called a record. Row is also called a record. So total I have 13 rows, or I can say 13 records. Now my requirement is I would like to create this particular table. So in order to create this table, 13 rows. So if I have to create this table, I need to know how to create a table, and I need to know how many columns I require and how many rows that I am going to insert. Now to create a table, so there is a different syntax to create a table, but just for time being I'll just show you. I'll just show you how to create a table using a SQL Developer. There is a syntax for creating a table. Just try to see here. So before going to into the subject, I'll just show you what exactly meant by a SQL and a PLSQL. Now here, if you see here, there are different database objects. There are different objects. So you have table, view, index, package, procedure, function, trigger, types, sequences, material views, synonyms, material view logs, public synonym, database links. Okay, so these are all nothing but the Oracle database objects. So if you want to learn Oracle course, you have to know about all these things. So which means that the course content will cover all these things: tables, views, indexes, packages, procedures, functions, triggers. So these are all the different objects that we are going to cover in the future classes. This tables, views, indexes, and types, sequences, views, synonyms. So these things will cover under SQL. Okay, so all these things will cover under SQL part. So if I have to talk about SQL, I have to tell you about all these things. Okay, now if we have to talk about PLSQL, we have to know about procedures, functions, triggers, and packages. So we have to know about all these things. Now today, as I told you, all these things are called database objects. Database objects. So what is a database object? Table, view, index, type. These are all called database objects. Now first let's concentrate on how to create a table. Now just try to see here. This employee number is going to store numeric information, right? It's a numeric information. So in Oracle terminology, do you know what is a data type? You can just ping me in the chat window. So if you are unable to speak. So do you know what is a data type? So basically a data type is nothing but the type of information which we are going to store in a column. Right, that's also true. Yeah. So you can say type of information that we are going to store in a column. So the type of information that we are going to store in a particular column. Now, employee number is a column. Now, I can say employee number will store numeric information. Okay. So it stores numeric information, and employee name, it stores character information. This is also character. This is numeric. And what is this one? This is the combination of numeric as well as. So it's a numeric information, but with a different format. Okay, higher date is nothing but a date information. Okay, so to store date information, we have a data type in Oracle. Now this is a numeric, this is also numeric, and this is also a numeric. Now we have in Oracle we have different data types. So the first one is a number used to store numeric information. The next one is varchar2. So this data type is used to store character information, and we have one more data type called date, which is used to store a date information. Okay, so first to store numeric information we have number, to store character we have varchar2, to store date information we have a data type called date. Now I'll just show you the syntax. Do you know what is the syntax? Probably I think everybody will know what is the syntax. Syntax is nothing but it's a standard notation which is used to create a particular object. Now my requirement is I would like to create a table called EMP. Let's say this table name is EMP. Now I'll just give you the syntax. Create table. Here you need to specify the table name. You have to open the brace, and here within the brace you have to specify the column name, and you have to specify the data type. Let's say column name 1. You have to separate each and every column with a comma. So how many columns that you are going to create here? You are going to create 7 columns, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 8. So you are going to create 8 columns. So I need to have 8, 3, 4, and so on up to 8 columns. And at the end you need to give the semicolon. So semicolon means which is the end of the information. Now this is the syntax to create a table. Now just try to follow this step. I'll tell you how to create a user in the next class, but just for time being I'll just show you how to create a user. So generally this step is not meant for a PL/SQL developer. This is for a database administrator. So I'm just creating a user for you. So this particular user will maintain all the information related to employees information. Okay, I just created a user. Now I'm configuring the user. Anyways, these steps I'll tell you in the future classes. Now here So while creating the database in my laptop, I have given the database name as Oracle or SCLE. If you take a bank, so if it is a HDFC bank, they may give the different name for their database. So based on the business, they'll choose the database name. Okay, this port and this local host I'll tell you later. Connection name, you can give any connection name. This is the username, and password means I have given the password as ORACLE. Now just click on save here. So once you click on save, can you see Kiran here? Okay, just test the connection. So it is saying success. Okay, let's click on connect. Okay, so now you are connected to Kiran user or Kiran schema. As I mentioned you, user or schema both are same. Now if I just expand this one, I'm able to see a different database objects. So can you see here? So here there are tables, views, indexes. You have so many database objects. Now let's try to see whether you have any tables or not. As you just created the user, usually you will not have any tables. Now my first requirement is I would like to create a table. Now can you see here? You don't have any tables. Now I have given you the syntax how to create a table. Now just try to see this one. So what is my table name here? So my table name is EMP is the table name. And what is the first column? So these are all the different columns that you have. So this is the first column. And what is the data type here? So as I told you, we have three different data types in Oracle: number, varchar2, date. So number means it is for numeric information. Varchar2 it's a character information. Date means it used to store date information. Now I know employee number is it stores numeric information. So I have to give number, employee name, which is used to store character information. So for character in Oracle we have varchar2, and here I need to specify the size here. So varchar2 of, let's say if I give 10 means I can store maximum 10 characters. Let's say if my name is Balakrishna, so I can store maximum 10 characters. Okay. Now what is the third column? Job. Job is nothing but what is the type of job, whether he is a salesman or clerk. So obviously it should be varchar2. And each and every column should be separated with a comma. What is the fourth column? Manager. So manager. Who is the manager? Manager is a numeric information. So I have to give number here. Hire date. So what is the data type here? Date is the data type. And salary, it is a numeric information. Commission, it is also a numeric information. Department number, this is also numeric information. Now, so once you give all the columns, for the last column you should not give any comma. So finally you have to, here you open the brace and you have to close the brace and you have to give semicolon. So this is the way to write the syntax for a table. Now in order to execute this statement, now can you see here there is a button, there is a one button called run statement, right? So this is run statement and this is nothing but a run script. So here you have in Sql Developer you have two options, one is F9 and F5. So F9 is nothing but, this button is called F9, this is nothing but a F9, okay, and this is F5, run script. Now I'll tell you what is F9. F9 is for single command execution. F9 is for single command execution. and F5 is for multiple line execution. Multiple lines execution. Multiple lines, you can say multiple commands execution. Multiple commands execution. Now this is a single command, right? So I can use here, this is for single or multiple lines. So F5 is used to execute single or multiple command execution. Now just try to see here, I am executing this one. Just click on this. So the command is executing. So it is, so the command is executed and it is showing table EMP created. Now just right click on and refresh here. Just refresh here. Now earlier we don't have any tables, but I can see a table called EMP. Just further expand this one. If you further expand this one, can you able to see all the columns? Employee number, employee name, job manager, hire date, salary. So these are all the different columns. Just click on this one, click on this table. So once you click on this table, it shows the information about the table. So this is these are all the columns that I have, and these are all the data types. Now can you see here, this is the column name and this is the data type. Okay, forget about remaining columns, so I'll tell you later. Now there is one more tab called data. Just click on this one. Data means currently it is not having any data. Now what is my next requirement? I have created a table. Now I would like to insert this data. Okay, now to insert the data, how many records that I have to insert? I have to insert how many records? 13 rows, right? So we can say row or record, both are same. Now my requirement is I would like to insert 13 records. So I'm just showing the demo how to insert the data using the SQL Developer tool. Okay. So I have just copied the data from Excel and I have created this button. What is this button? Insert row. Okay. So I have created 16 insert statements. Now can you see here there is one button called commit changes, right? There is one button called commit changes. That is nothing but F11. So we have discussed about F9 and we have discussed about F5, and there is one more button called F11, that is nothing but a commit changes. Commit. Okay. Just click on this one, commit changes. So as soon as you click on this button, so what it is showing? It is showing different statements. So internally the tool generated some insert statements. Okay. Just copy these things. Okay. Now just close this one. Now just click on data here. Now can you see the data? So whatever we have in the Excel, so we have inserted the data into the table. Now, so this is one method to see the data in the table. So what we have done here, so we have created a table and we have inserted the data. Now I want to see the data from the table. How to see the data from the table? You can just click on this one, and there is one tab called data. So when you go here, so you can see the data here. So that is using a tool. Now there is one more method to see the data. So that is nothing but using select statement. To see the data, we have a select statement. As I told you, SQL is nothing but a structured query language, right? SQL is nothing but a structured query language. Now, by using this select statement, I can see the data. Now, so the syntax is select columns from table name. So this is the way to see the data. Now, here, this is nothing but the syntax. So syntax is nothing but it's a standard method which is used to create or follow any syntax. Now, select. So columns. What are all the columns that I would like to see here? I would like to see all these columns, right? Select columns. So all the columns, and each and every column should be separated with a comma. So my requirement is to see all the columns data. So from here, what is the table name here? My table name is EMP. Okay. Now just try to, as I told you, what is the command to execute a single line, single command? Can you see here? F9, right? So F9 is for single line. Single line or single command. Now just click on F9. Can you see the data? Now, let's say I don't want to see all the columns. I would like to see only a few columns. I would like to see only employee number and employee name. I don't want to see other columns. Now, here I am able to see only two columns. So here you can mention any number of columns here. Okay. Now here my requirement is I would like to see all the columns. Okay. So here I have mentioned all the columns. Instead, you can do one thing. There is a command called, instead of specifying all the columns, you can specify a star here. So star represents all the columns. Star represents all columns of the table. Okay. Just try to execute this one. Okay. Can you see all the columns? So instead of specifying each and every column name, you can directly specify star. So star means it represents all the columns. Now, I'm just stopping here and I'm just giving you what are the things that we have learned today. Now we have seen what is a database, okay, and what is a data type, okay, and how to create a table, okay, how to insert the data into the table, and how to select the data from the table, right? And in the data types, what else we have seen? We have seen number, we have seen varchar2, and we have seen date. Now, after inserting what we have done here, so after inserting the data, we have pressed a button called F11, right? So F11 is nothing but a commit. So we have given commit statement. So select. So in the select, what we have seen? We have seen star, right? So star means all columns. I'll just give you one simple point here, and with that I'll stop the session for today. SQL is subdivided into 5 different languages. SQL is subdivided into 5 different sub-languages. So one is nothing but a DDL, DML, TCL, and DCL, and DRL. I'll tell you what is a DDL and what all the things in next class. Just for to summarize, So DRL is nothing but select. Okay. TCL is nothing but commit. You have seen, right? Commit means F11, right? DML means insert. So there are different things, but so whatever we have learned today, so based on those things, I'm just listing down here. Create. Okay. So we have seen create, we have seen insert, we have seen commit, and we have seen select. And DCL means I have created a user for you, right? So can you see here, grant connect comma resource to Kiran identified by Oracle. So I have created a user called Kiran by using a statement called grant. Okay. Anyways, I'll tell you this statement in future classes. So as today is a demo, I just want to give you the overview of what are the things that we are going to learn in next 20 to 25 days. Okay. So create, insert, commit, grant, and select. So these are all the things that we have learned today. So SQL is subdivided into 5 different languages. So in those things, DDL, DML, TCL, DCL, DRL. So we have learned these things. I'll give you the definition. What is a DDL? What is a DML? Okay, these things in future classes.